Hello people, today I'm doing a review for the new Halloween film, Halloween Kills. My expectations for this movie were just medium. Um, I love the 1978 Halloween movie. I think it's a classic, even though the script and story is not the best. I think the atmosphere and direction that John Carpenter had is just magnificent. He's one of the only directors I've ever heard of that also did the score for the movie, and that's in all his craft minus the lackluster script combined really worked well, and the atmosphere that he was able to create was just masterful. And that's what really holds up the 1978 movie. 2018, I did not love it. I think it's okay. Um, it's an okay horror movie. I don't think I give it enough credit, to be honest. It has some creative scares. The first 15-20 minutes, I honestly, if I'm rewatching it, I don't pay attention to it. The second that Michael Myers is unleashed is when I really get invested in the story and what's going on in the movie. So this movie, my expectations are medium due to the lackluster reviews. But I know that the studio is very confident with this movie. Um, and now that I have seen it, my opinion is formed. While I say this is admittedly, I've only seen the 1978, 2018, and now this one. I will admit this is my least favorite, but I still think I had a great time with it. And if we're going on a technical level, yes, this is the worst one. On an enjoyment level, I enjoyed this more than the 2018 movie. Even though on technical standards, 2018 is just a little bit better of a movie. So it's just really what are your, I think 2018 struck a little bit better of a balance between Michael Myers and story. This movie definitely caters to Michael Myers rather than story. So sometimes it's a great thing, sometimes it's a bad thing. And so when it comes to a bad thing, I think the movie has some severe pacing issues. And it's not that the movie's never slow. But this movie, if I look back in reflection, I'm like, okay, what's the first act? What's the second act? What's the third act? I cannot begin to even think of what would be the first act, second act, third act. It's just all kind of like a blurge of a movie, if that makes sense. Because these two new Halloween movies, it's just all taken so far over like one day in 2018. So it's really so much of the first movie was the first act, this will be the second act, and Halloween Ends will be like the third act, if that's the direction that they're going. And this is really just like the movie I could see people binging through. It's watchable, but it's really just, it feels like that gapping movie between the two. Because like if you've seen reviews, you know that Laurie Strode, it's not necessarily a spoiler, she spends most of the movie in a hospital. So she's pretty much absent from this movie. And so it's definitely different, but very similar. So, like I said, it caters Michael Myers in this movie, which I said really works at moments because, the pacing was fine. I was never bored, but like I said, the structure was just, it didn't exist. There was no structure to this movie. And, but let's talk about what this movie brought to the table that a movie that had more of a structure wouldn't be able to do. Michael Myers wreaks havoc. He is always killing people, and it's just mighty entertaining. From the second he kills the first person, you're in for a treat. It's the bloodiest one out of the now three that I've seen, and bloody doesn't always mean good, but and there's a lot. I could see a lot of people saying that this movie got political because there's a lot of things, particularly towards the end, where I was like, oh crap, that reminds me of this, and you'll know it once you see it, once you're talking about it. I mean, once you see the movie, but of course, like, people might come out of this and it's like, oh, that's too political, but this movie was made before some of the political stuff that comes to your head happened. So, it's just almost kind of ironic, I think. So, like, to me, it was kind of funny, but it made it seem more realistic. Because, the people of Haddonfield get fed up with this Michael Myers stuff, and they, take it to the streets to try to take him down. And before you would think it's unrealistic, but now since, like, the last couple of years have happened in the state of America right now, it's like, I guess it's not that unrealistic, because I can almost see something like this happening now, due to, all that. But, and so almost, if COVID kind of helped this movie, for some things I would have thought would have been a stretch a couple of years ago. But, yeah, like I said, Michael Myers' brutal kills are there. Is this movie scary, though? At moments, I'd say there is maybe two thrilling moments in this movie. Overall, is the movie scary? I would say definitely not. I don't really find either of the other ones scary, so that if you think that if you found the other two scary, you'll probably find this one scary. But this movie's getting a lot of hate right now, and people have called this like the Last Jedi of the whole Halloween movies or whatever. But my thing is just like, what were you expecting? If you like thoroughly were disappointed and hated this, like it's a Michael Myers Halloween movie. It's gonna have a bad story. It's gonna have crappy dialogue and characters. It's just the way it is. And so I guess maybe it's the absence of Laurie Strode in this movie, even though she's still in it. It's just, does she even have a scene with Michael? I don't even think she has a single scene with Michael in this movie. So, but there is some very promising setup for the third movie, and I'm I'm excited. Like I'm not like jumping for joy for Halloween Ends, but I'm down and I'm gonna be there to see it. And overall, I had fun with this movie. I don't think it's perfect by any means due to its non-existent structure of story. It's just more of watching a series of events unfold on this night. And by the end of the movie, I was also kind of like, that was like I was glad that I watched it, but at the end of the day, it just very much felt like the connecting movie between the first movie and the third movie. So it connected some bridges, but at the end of the day, I was like, a lot of this was filler. But it was entertaining filler, if that. And I'm gonna give Halloween Kills a 6.8 out of 10. Like I said, it's a fun movie. I was not expecting, you know, any anything spectacular, and I was entertained. So yeah. Anyways, comment down below what you guys thought of Halloween Kills. Did you think it was a portrayal of the Halloween series, or did you guys have fun with it like I did? So yeah. Anyways, like, share, subscribe, and stuff like that, and adios.